Okay. Sit. Like that. Careful. Hi guys, and welcome to our first YouTube video. Today I will teach you all about clicker training. So first, what is the goal of clicker training? It's to make your cat do things that you want them to do. For example, if you try to feed them, you don't want them to jump on you. You just want to make them sit and wait while you serve them food. But it can also be for a fun purpose, to teach them tricks. Sit. High five. Or to go outside with them. Overall, it is a really fun way to create a strong bond between you and your cat. The ultimate goal is eventually that you can make them do things without using the clicker or giving them a treat. So, what do you need to start clicker training? A clicker and cat treats. A clicker is a tool that makes a clicking sound when you press it. You need to teach your cat that whenever you make the sound of the clicker, that they will get a reward. This way, you can point out the behaviors that you want to see more often or the tricks that you try to teach them. As soon as your cat does what you ask for, you press the clicker and you give him a treat. Aw, he was waiting for a treat. So sweet. So now I will tell you how to really get started. First of all, don't free feed your cat. This is a really important step. If your cat has access to his food all day, your cat will not be eager to perform the behaviors that you try to teach them. And he knows that food is always available for him. So it's best to put your cat on a schedule, for example, 3 times a day. Also make sure that whenever you give them food, that you take away the food after 1 hour. This way, your cat learns to eat their portion in time. Second, what time of the day is best to train your cat? It's best to train your cat between their meal times. If your cat just ate his meal, he's probably not going to be very interested in putting much effort into the training just to receive some treats. But if it's close to feeding time, it's also not the best time to teach them tricks. Because they are so hungry, they're going to be so focused on the treats instead of you and what you try to teach them. It can also lead your cat to bite or scratch you to try to get the treats out of your hands. So I would recommend you do it in between the meal times. For example, we give Icey food at 9 a.m., at 1 p.m. and at 6 p.m. So between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., 11 a.m. is probably the best time. You get the point. I also like to train in the evening. This helps to keep Icey quiet during the night and let us sleep. Alright, third step. Teach them that the sound of the clicker means a reward for them. You have to start this training first at all times. Take a few moments on your day just to click and give them a treat. Make sure to repeat this step until your cat reacts to the sound of the clicker. It might take a few days until your cat really understands the point of the clicker. So how will you know when to move on from this training? When you have done this a few times for a few days, you can try to use the clicker whenever he doesn't expect it. For example, if you're watching TV, just make sure that you have the clicker with you. Make the clicking sound and see if your cat reacts to the clicker. If your cat starts running up to you and wait for a treat, this way you know that your cat really gets the point of the clicker, which means that you can now start teaching your cat the real tricks. And I will make a video for that up next. How often do I have to train my cat, and for how long at a time? It's best to keep your training sessions short and effective. If you train for too long, your cat gets bored. Take 5 minutes for several times a day, and it's best to repeat this every day. Of course, the more you train with your cat, the faster your cat learns. Which clicker to buy? You do have many clickers on the market. I like one that is easy to press, but you also have clickers with a target stick. It's a really good one to work with. You can point at several objects and make sure that your cat jumps on it, for example, but I started with just a normal clicker like this one. Do I have to carry the clicker with me all the time? In the beginning, I would say yes, it's probably the best, because if your cat does something that you want them to do, you can click and reward them for their behavior. But as soon as your cat is trained, you don't have to have the clicker with you all the time, just when you teach them a new trick. When it's best to start clicker training your cat? Of course, it's best to start as young as possible. If you have your kitty, when they are young, they learn much faster. Older cats can also be trained, but it takes a little bit longer sometimes to train your cat and get used to the clicker and used to the training. Will my cat become fat? This was a question of mine because I was like, I'm giving him so much treats and food, like this cannot be good. If you give your cat the right amount of treats and meal times on a day, your cat won't become fat. So the more you train your cat, the more treats you're gonna give him, which means that maybe you should reduce their meal proportions. Also, make sure that you give your cat healthy treats, which is very important. Why not use your own voice to train your cat? The reason why it is less effective to use your own voice is because your cat hears your voice all the time, every day. You probably tell him, good job, or yes, whenever they do something right. They will not know the difference when you try to teach them something or when you're just talking to them. Which makes the clicker sound very unique, is that this sound, they don't hear it all the time. It's like humans, right? If an alarm goes up, we know that something is happening. We know that the sound of the alarm, it connects with whatever the sound is for. Yeah, it's not a regular sound that we hear on a daily basis. This is also the way with clicker training. So that makes it way more effective to use a clicker instead of your own voice to teach your cat things. It's quicker and it's better. So in my next video, I will teach you some easy tricks to teach your cat first. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video. Oh,